Good morning, everyone. It's another beautiful day in Southwest Michigan. This is Kathy Zerler and Deborah Basham as host and production advisor. So, as we begin, remember the most important thing. This is your yoga. This is for you, and that means you do the right things for you at every pose, and take that metaphor out into life. It's not just for yoga, it's for on the mat and off the mat. Do the right things for yourself, and then you'll be better prepared to do the right things for everyone else. So let's lie down on our mats in rest pose, whatever that is for you, and settle in. Soften into the mat and breathe. Roll back your shoulders so that you are squarely on the mat. Let your arms be limp at your sides. Feet naturally open. Jaw and facial features relax. As you begin to breathe, a 4-part deeper breath, and that is inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and pause for 4. And it could be 3. If you find out you can't inhale for 4, then switch to a lower number. If you'd like to do more, I read a while ago that 6 is the optimum number, which takes practice. So do the right things right now, whatever feels good, and begin to do this. Inhaling for the count of approximately 4. Holding for approximately the count of 4. Exhaling for 4. Pausing for the count of 4. Keep going for the 4-part breath. And if you can breathe in and out through your nose, please do that. Nasal breathing brings us the additional benefits of the nasal hairs, the follicles in the nose, filter out germs. And secondly, nasal breathing allows nitric oxide to come into our lungs, which mouth breathing doesn't do. So if you can breathe in and out through the nose, it's safer and better. This is known as a calming breath. It works if you find yourself in maybe a challenging situation. You can put your lips together and try 1 or 2 or 3 4-part breaths to soothe yourself. Let's now begin to turn our heads from side to side, warming up your neck. Moving mindfully up to your range of motion, but not through it. And when you come to one side now, turn your head in the opposite direction, in one direction, and hold it there. And breathe into your range of motion as you hold it, maintaining what you have and perhaps building upon what you have. Breathe back to center. Turn your head the other way, same thing. Go up to your range of motion and hold. Breathe back to center. Go the other way, same thing. Breathing into the hold. This becomes a static movement. As we move into this pose and hold, it becomes a yin move in yoga. So there's one type of yoga called yin that is holding, and all the other ones are yang. In this yoga that we'll do together, you'll do a little bit of both. Breathe back to center. And last time, the other way. Hold it and breathe. Breathe back to center. Roll back your shoulders so you're squarely on your mat. And lift up one arm just off the mat. Notice the weight. Notice your shoulder. Your shoulder is closest to the trunk, to the torso, which in its entirety is the core. So from the neck to the hips, that's our core. Hold the weight from the inside of the core out to the extremity. So that is from the shoulder to the fingers. And continue to breathe as you hold. And now, all at once, drop the arm and let everything go. Notice. Notice what's happening within you. Lift up the other arm, same thing. Lift it up just off the mat, enough so that you can feel the weight of the entire arm. Notice the shoulder doing the work, breathing into the arm and the shoulder, encouraging the shoulder as it does this lifting. All at once, drop it and let everything go. Inhale and exhale. Traveling down now to the low core. Squeeze the hips, squeeze the gluteus maximus, pull down on the belly muscles. These are the TVA muscles right below your navel that run transversely across your body. So tighten up those muscles and notice your quadriceps. When we tighten the abs, when we tighten the hips and the glutes, the quads jump right in there and help. So these combined are the biggest muscles in the body. They burn the most calories, they do the most work. All at once now, release, let everything go. Take a long, slow breath. One more time. Squeeze the low core. Draw it all in like you're trying to hold everything in. Squeeze it all, hold it tight. And breathe. The tighter you're able to hold it, the more muscles you can squeeze. But again, range of motion is in play here. Do not go beyond what is comfortable for you. This is not a contest. This is your yoga. Release. Let everything go. Soften and breathe. Bend one knee now and bring that leg up close, placing both hands behind the knee to prevent overflexion on the knee joint, and begin to massage the low core on the side that you are massaging it, on the side where the leg is. As you give yourself a belly massage, and as your back touches the mat, the small of the back comes toward the mat. You're getting a little back rub as well. And you're doing it all yourself. You are enough. Lift that leg up. The knee is soft. Place your hands on the TVA muscles to remind you to engage these muscles as you point and very slowly lower the leg almost to the floor. So you're moving in slow motion and you get almost to the floor. Flex your foot and bring it up just as slowly. And keep going at your own pace, flexing up and pointing down. Breathing in both directions. This is weightlifting, but if you were actually in resistance training in the cardio room or in the weight room or anywhere that you were lifting, you would be told to exhale on the exertion. We are breathing in both directions because we are exerting in both directions. The next time you come close to the floor, release the leg. Let everything melt. Let it go. Let everything go. Bend the other knee. Bring that knee up close to your belly. Both hands again behind the knee prevents overflexion. You're protecting the knee joint as you massage the side of your body. All of the organs and systems are thanking you with grateful thoughts. Every single cell and system has a memory. They know. There's lots of nerves in this area, especially the vagus nerve, which is truly an important nerve for learning how to let go of tension. Bring the leg up in the air. That knee is soft. Place your palms on the TBA muscles as you point and very slowly lower the leg almost to the floor using the core. And when you get almost to the floor, then flex the foot and bring it up. So the pointing and the flexing engage slightly different muscles as we work the leg in a very careful and thorough warm-up. Pointing down, flexing up, squeezing the TBA muscles and the other parts of the core that are working. The quads, the hips, the glutes. But notice what you need. What do you yourself need? And do the right thing for you. So watch what you're doing. This is mindfulness. Yoga and life are all about mindfulness. Paying attention. The next time you come close to the floor, release everything, like everything melts. Spirit, mind, and body, all working together, integrating on the release, working together on the movement and the tension. Bend both knees. Bring both legs up close, placing one hand behind each knee and roll on your back, stimulating circulation around your spine. Such a good thing. Taking care of our spine is taking care of everything around us, which is everything. Emile Zola once wisely quoted, "Without our bodies, where would we live? Without our bodies, where would we live?" Bring the knees in close and lift the legs up in the air. Again, looking at the legs and keeping the knees a little soft. Arms are by your sides now, but you're still engaging the low core. As you point the feet, squeeze the core. Notice this L shape and everything else that comes in. When you consciously point the feet, other things happen. Soften and very gently flex your feet, pointing your heels toward the sky, feeling good and noticing. Soften here. Press the sides of your big toes together and consciously squeeze the inner thighs. Let go. Squeeze the sides of your heels together. Consciously squeeze the glutes. And notice, you are gaining better health with every breath. Release. Bend the knees. Roll onto one side and use your elbow and your other hand to push yourself up safely to a seated position. Good morning again, everyone. Come into staff pose now. Look at your feet, point the feet. Roll back your shoulders. Soften here, rolling back, softening, and bring your arms out to parallel. Small pulses, moving through the shoulders, up to the fingertips, patting the air, sitting tall. Posture is the single best thing we can do for a healthy spine. Soften, palms up, gently lift the air. Moving the air around you, working the shoulders, and bring the shoulders back into a slight engagement. Bring both arms up overhead. Fold your hands, sit up tall. Turn your palms up toward the sky. Bring back your chin. Release. Bring your palms together and bring your hands down into prayer pose. Pressing the sides of your chest into the xiphoid process, or the center of your chest, provides gentle acupressure that, when combined with the chin tuck, will help alleviate dizziness. So this is physically stabilizing as well as being called prayer pose. So let's bow our heads down, tuck your chin, and take a moment for yourself. Take a moment to set an intention for today, for your practice on the mat, and your actions and your thoughts off of the mat. Take a moment. Bring up your head. Bring both arms up overhead. And bring your arms out to parallel. Palms are forward. Small circles backwards. Engaging the shoulders, rotating backwards. The shoulders are a very amazing piece of anatomy. Breathe as you move. Stop, small circles forward. Continuing to breathe and notice the amazing miracle that our bodies are. Goal pose, small movements up and down. Make a conscious effort to bring back the arms so that there's a small shoulder engagement. As you breathe, as you notice, as you do the right things. And release. Arms down into scarecrow, up and down. And again, swing the elbows just for fun. Swirl around. Have a good time, both directions. Working every body part in both directions on these bilateral moves. Woo! Come down, release, and roll your shoulders, noticing how good this feels as you breathe. Smile to yourself and come up to your hands and knees, to the table pose. Arms are straight down from the shoulders. Knees are straight down from the hips. Begin the cat table cow if you know it. And if you don't, the cat is tuck the chin and arch your back toward the sky. Breathe back to the table. Sway into the sway back cow. Bring up your head. Sway back to the table. Flow up into the cat. Breathe back to the table. Flow into the cow. So we're doing slow flow right now as we continue. Arching our backs in both directions. Spinal flexion. Flowing from place to place. We could also apply the yin technique to this by going to one extension. I'm in the cow right now and holding it steady, and then releasing, bringing it back to the table, and then arching up into the cat stretch and holding it there. So there's different ways and techniques to do many, many poses. Breathe back to the table now. Curl your toes under for downward dog. Bring your hands and feet to the edges of the width of your mat and push up to downward facing dog. Let your head hang between your shoulders. We never want to hold up the weight of our heads. Our heads weigh about 10 pounds on average. So yours might weigh 13 or 7, we don't know, unless we weigh our heads. Find your center in down dog. It is primarily a spinal stretch. So notice your spine arching toward the mat. Notice the backs of your legs. Secondarily, this is the hamstring, connective tissues, and the backs of your legs stretch. So working both ends of this, and always feel free to adjust within the pose. If you don't think you're getting as much out of it as you could be, feel free to move. Imagine now that someone is pressing lightly on your hips. Push backwards with your hips. Hold it. And then letting go, walk your hands and feet together to forward bend. Hugging the chin, roll up slowly. Pulling in the belly, tucking the chin, rolling up, thinking about alignment as you notice the blood flowing back to your heart. So we have stimulated blood flow around our spines. Roll back your shoulders, we have stimulated blood flow around our spines, yes, with all of that. But we've also stimulated blood flow in our brains and our hearts. In the mountain pose, which I'm in right now, soften the knees. Let your hands be soft. Shoulders are rolled back, chin is back. Spine is straight. You are standing tall, which all of the experts agree is the single best thing we can do for a healthy spine. What could be more natural? So we're always using our spine. And in yoga, we're moving from the inside out. And that's from the spine toward everything else. So let's begin with some forward bends here. Again, stimulating blood flow in the inversion and then the lift of the forward bend. I'm going to turn to the side. Shoulders are back. Bring in the elbows. Bend the knees and sit way back so the knees are above your feet. So it's very important. This is not a lunge. Let your hands come to the mat and allow your head to hang heavily. Shake your head yes. You are in forward bend. Blood is flowing to your brain. Let's come up now very slowly, tucking the chin, pulling in the belly, and rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Remember, the chin tuck helps alleviate dizziness. As you notice the blood flowing from your brain into your heart, shoulders roll back. Let's bring our hands behind us. Fold your hands and bring the arms away from your back, contraindicating all of the forward motion that we do most of the time throughout our day, until we're allowed to recline and sleep or take rests, brief naps or power naps, just sitting and relaxing. Hold this. Notice the shoulders. Notice the scapula. Notice the difference in the shoulders in the way we normally are. Release to the mountain. Take a minute to let this mountain become you. Allow every cell in your body to memorize this. This is good posture. So when we stand in good open posture like this, we're more open to listening. We're not protecting ourselves. Maybe we do that with our arms crossed or by looking down, shamefully maybe. We're scolded. When we're open and making eye contact, we are open to what's around us. That might be somebody that we're talking to, that we're listening to. Or it might be just the environment, the birds, the trees, the sun. We're open here. Open ourselves to this and gently sway from side to side, releasing and noticing, breathing and releasing. Coming back to center. Let's do another forward bend. Find your center. Elbows in. Sit way back. Bend the knees. Knees on top of the feet. Fold in half. Hang out. Lengthen the legs. And notice the sacrum. Low back. Opening up. Remember your edge. Moving mindfully toward it in every pose. So important. Shake your head yes, stimulating the crystals that could cluster in your brain or in your skull here and cause dizziness. Tucking the chin now. Roll up, pulling in the belly, coming up slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. Head comes up. Shoulders roll back. Sweep up your arms. Lift up. Lift up. Widen the fingers. Lift up your toes. Look at all the space within. Mindfully watching as a witness with your mind's eye to what you are doing. And let's release. And let's do some windmill breathing. So inhaling up, exhaling down, filling our bodies with healing oxygen, breathing and noticing. I have roses blooming. I think they're just out of the camera, but maybe as they bloom even more, they just started. We'll adjust the camera for next time. Bring your arms up, lift up, soften here, and then lean to one side into a crescent moon. So this arm next to the leg is supporting the crescent moon incline, the tilting. You're stretching out the obliques on the opposite side, and your body is in the frontal plane. So your head is leaning, Your other arm is either up overhead or wherever your shoulder feels good. So maybe your shoulder doesn't feel right up here. Then move it. You can put it across your body. You can put it on your waist. You can put it behind you. You can bring it up where it was and bend it. Do the right things. Watch what you're doing. It's important. And dare I say it, our mothers were right when they said constantly to us, watch what you're doing. You'll poke your brother's eye out. Come all the way back up. Lift up. Soften and release. Sway from side to side. Nice and slow. Breathing as you move. Relaxing. Releasing. Smiling. Coming back to center. Lift your arms up. Lift up at center and then lean the opposite direction in crescent moon. Make the adaptation that you need to make with your shoulders. Softening the lower shoulder. The other shoulder can be anywhere else that feels right for you. Notice. All of this will become more and more clear to you as you practice. Practice like anything worth doing will begin to become you. I play the piano, and I don't practice very much, but I do play. And I can't tell you how to play the piano, but my fingers know how. I mean, I could sit there and show you, but my muscle memory in my fingers knows where the keys are. That's muscle memory, and everything has it. All of the cells in our body. Come up nice and slow. Lift up. Find your center. Soften here. Fold your hands. Turn your palms up toward the sky. Lift up. Bring back your chin. Soften here. Make a steeple. Touch your thumbs. A different, slightly different movement. And lift up again out of the armpits. Lift up the toes, soften here, and release. Roll back your shoulders. Step out a little bit and put your hands on your waist. Soften your knees and twist to one side, looking over that shoulder. Notice your spine, neck, and shoulder all flexing together. Breathe back to center. Turn your head the other way, looking over that shoulder. Noticing. This is a great move for those who golf or drive cars. Breathe back to center because we're flexing our neck, our shoulders, and our spine, and our waist, which we need to do to look in our blind spot. Turn the other way, go up to your edge. Notice it here. Breathe into it. Breathe back to center. Last time, the other direction. Holding and breathing. These final flexions, and let's release and let's relax. And even this is a spinal flexion, but it's a very gentle release for the spine. All of these rotations and flexions in the spine that take us in a swiveling, twisting motion, all of them open up space around our organs. Let's sit down and do a little bit more of that. So stretch out in an L shape, pull that fleshy part back so that you are squarely on your sitting bones, and then bend your right knee. Bring it up. Put the right foot on the outside of the left knee. Bring the left arm back. Bring the right arm to the inside of the right leg. And now you are in the pose. So let's begin to go into it up to our edge by looking left, gently arching our backs, gently lifting our chins, and then point the left foot. So now begin to work this because you are in your best extension. You are breathing and noticing. It's good. Keep here. This is yin. Keep holding. This pose will work all on its own once you're in it. So notice if you're in it in a comfortable way. We are all about safety. Mindfulness is all about safety. So if you're mindful, you're miles ahead of the game. If you watch what you're doing, you are doing the right things. Hold it a little bit more. Soften in place. Let yourself move a little to see if you have your body might show you a better place. But see if you can find something maybe a tad more comfortable. And then twist the other direction. I mean, twist the same way, but go back to the stretch. So we let go, we found a better place, and now we're going back to the flexion. Breathe and hold. Breathe and notice. Always doing the right things. Smiling. Sending that smile reflex through your entire body. Hold it and breathe. Breathe and release, unwind. Come into staff pose and very gently fold forward, allowing your hands to come toward your feet, head towards the knees, no forcing. Seated forward bend. Rolling up now. Let's do the other side. So remember in yoga, we always do both sides. So we're in staff pose again. Fleshy part is back. Our spine is straight. Roll back your shoulders, soften in, and bend the left knee. Bring the left foot to the outside of the right knee. Bring the right arm back. Bring the left arm to the inside of the left leg. And now you're in the pose in the other direction. See if this feels right. If it doesn't, make an adjustment. And when you feel ready, let's work the pose. So turn your head to the right. Point the right foot. Very gently arch your back and lift your chin. Find your place. Breathe into your flexing spine. We always like to breathe or direct our breath into the body part that's doing most of the work. And if we forget that, we forget to do that, it's okay, because our entire bodies are involved. So just regular breathing, involuntary breathing that our lungs and every part of our breathing system do automatically. We don't have to worry about it. If you're breathing, you're okay. Hold it here. Notice the stretch. Notice the flexion. Notice your edge. And then soften in place and let your body lead you to perhaps a slightly different or better or more comfortable place. So return to the stretch. Arching, lifting, pointing, noticing, settling in and breathing. Slowly release. Coming back to center, uncrossed. Find your seat, seated forward bend. So gently fold in half. Hands toward the feet, head toward the knees, no forcing. Begin to notice. Breathe and release. Slowly roll up, tucking the chin, alignment, shoulders roll back, hands behind your hips as you lift up the weight of your body. Now you only have to go this far, or actually you don't have to go anywhere. You can just sit if you don't want to do this. Or you can point your feet and make a plank, or you can arch your back and look behind you. So do the right thing, looking up, noticing and breathing. And when you come up, be careful of your head, controlling it with your shoulders and your neck. Come back down. Release and fold in half. Roll it up. Hands behind the hips. Let's lift up again. We're weightlifting with our own bodies. Lift up. Go wherever you'd like to be. It can be just off the mat. It can be straighter. Or you can arch and let your head hang behind you, which is excellent for the sinuses. Kind of opens them up naturally. A little bit more floor work now. So we're going into the bridge pose. Knees are bent, feet are on the mat in front of your knees. Roll down nice and slow on your mat. And roll back your shoulders. Now adjust your position here so you can lift up your pelvis. So you can lift up your hips without any pressure on your neck. And when you're ready, remembering the weight will be on your shoulders and your feet, then tilt your pelvis and roll up slowly, rolling up onto your shoulders, arch your back. So you're making a mini plank here. The space between your knees and your shoulders is fairly straight. So this is the extension. So you've arched your back to get there. Release a little bit. Release the hips, and release everything around the muscles that it takes to do this pose. The bridge. An excellent pose. Breathe and notice. Very slowly now, roll down, vertebrae by vertebrae, and gently rock your pelvis, releasing your spine. Softly moving forward and back, enjoying the nice release. And then come to center, check your shoulders, and when you're ready, roll up into your next bridge. Rock it up onto your shoulders, arch, squeeze, and settle in. In your mind's eye, see a plank, see a bridge. It's an inclined bridge. You are walking on this bridge. When you get to the uppermost point, look over the railing at the waters around you. What are the waters around you? Are they clear? Can you see clear to the bottom? Are they still? Are they calm? Or are they muddy and swirling like a babbling brook over a lot of rocks? You have the option of making those stumbling blocks, those stumbling over stones, into stepping stones. Roll down, vertebrae by vertebrae. When your back touches the mat, release and notice and breathe. Stretch out now. Point the feet, bring both arms up overhead behind you on the floor, and lengthen. Notice you have made a lot of space within for your organs and your systems to do their work. Soften, bring the arms back, roll back the shoulders, and take a long, slow breath. Let's once again do the 4-part breath. Inhaling, holding, exhaling, and pausing for the count of 4, or 3, or 5, whatever feels like you want to do. So begin to breathe that 4-part breath. Inhaling, exhaling, continuing the rhythm of bringing in healing oxygen and expelling CO2. Bend the knees now. Bring the knees up close, one hand behind each knee. Roll on your back. We are releasing our spine from all the things we've done to strengthen it. We'll gain spinal strength and endurance. And the same with every other part of your body that we work. And we did work every muscle group and every bone, and hopefully touched your heart and stimulated your mental processes as we move. Bring the knees in close, arms out into airplane, legs to the right, all the way to the mat, head to the left, allowing the left palm to go up and the right palm is on the mat. You are in a full body spinal rotation now. Allow it to work. Allow it to increase spinal flexion and to correct anything minor that might be a little bit out of place. This is the pose that can bring your spine back together in a very non-invasive, natural, easy, pain-free way. Slowly now, one leg at a time, bring up your legs. Bring in your arms, place one hand behind each knee, and roll on your back. Now this is the second part of this full body spinal rotation. This is the coming to center part. This is the part that can bring everything together, spirit, mind, and body, and especially in the body in this pose. If there's something small that's out of place, or something not very far out of place, this is the pose that can bring it to center. Bring the knees in close, arms out into airplane, legs to the left, all the way to the mat. head to the right. As you roll that palm up, left palm is down. You are looking right, feeling the length and the strength in your arm, as well as the flex in your neck, shoulders, and spine. The hips are involved. This is wonderful for all these major core parts: hips, spine, neck, shoulders, all of it working together right down to your tailbone. Slowly now, one leg at a time, come up. When you're on your back, bring in the arms, one hand behind each knee. Release, roll, relax. Make a conscious effort to encompass as much of your spine as you can. So make these big circles as you notice and breathe. Bring the knees in close, arms out into airplane, legs to the right, head to the left, left palm is up. You may find this time as you settle in that you are more flexible. Just by doing the first rotation, you gained flexibility for the second. But also, I like to do this pose at the end of our practice, or near the end, because it is a big rotation. It does a lot of work. I like to get thoroughly warmed up before we do this. So get into it, release it, relax, see what you can let go of. Slowly now, one leg at a time, come up. When you find yourself centered on your spine, bring in your arms. Again, one hand behind each knee and roll a little bit more vigorously this time, encompassing as much of your spine as you can, bringing it back to center. So I like to make circles with my knees because that in itself sort of moves everything around. And I stay centered, but I do other things too. I'll go in a circular motion, or I'll go from side to side. So you do the right things for you. And now bring the knees in close, arms out into airplane, last time, legs to the left, head to the right, right palm rolls up, soften in and let go. Notice your flexing spine. As we're in this pose, encourage your flexing spine. Direct your best thoughts of gratefulness to your spine for being flexible, for carrying the weight carrying and strengthening all the parts of your body, bringing everything together. Breathe into it. Soften and let go. Very slowly, one leg at a time. Bring up your legs. Bring in the arms. One hand behind each knee. Roll a little bit more vigorously, allowing the spine to articulate. Say ah. It's the new O. Feeling good, stretch out. Bring both arms up overhead behind you on the mat. Push through the fingers and the toes, lengthening, softening, and then settling in to rest pose. Arms by your sides, shoulders back. Soften and breathe. Let everything come together. This is called Shavasana. It's the time in yoga where everything comes together. Spirit, brain, body, everything coming together with our breath representing our spirits. So it might be called breath, brain, and body. Notice and breathe. Just let this process work. I am going to invite you now to stay in this pose. We are coming to the close of our time in this practice, but you do not have to leave. You can stay for another 5 minutes. Try it. Just challenge yourself to stay in Shavasana for 5 whole minutes and see if you're getting rest and relaxation, or if you need to do something else. And so now bring your hands into prayer pose, resting your thumbs in the center of your chest, resting your arms on your ribs. Close your eyes. And as we close, we say together a word that's namaste, that's the word. That means we see our own Holy Spirits, and we see the Holy Spirits in everyone we meet. And so let's say together now, namaste. And make it a healthy day, everybody. Thank you for coming. Please come back.